I'm Ann Imsey, the editor of Colorado Public News, a multimedia news service based at Colorado Public Television 12. You're about to see the story of a mother facing deportation in Denver. We'd like to hear your thoughts about her case and start an intelligent discussion of how to change U.S. immigration law. Tell us what you think at coloradopublicnews.org.
This is the story of one illegal immigrant to the United States. 14 years ago, she didn't imagine the trouble she could get in for letting her car tags expire and not having a valid driver's license. Most Americans don't really know the first thing about immigration law. Jeanette Vizgara has become an expert. Protests on her behalf outside the U.S. Immigration Court show how desperate things have gotten. Vizgara is facing deportation back to Mexico in October. She will be leaving her husband and 3 children behind. When she was stopped in February 2009 for expired tags, she also had fake ID. That sent her to jail, where the immigration officials found her.
She failed to register her vehicle properly. She failed to have insurance. She failed to have a valid driver's license. Those are violations of our statutes and our code. She also, in my opinion, committed the crime of identity theft and caused the victimization of another individual.
Jeanette paid the fine for the traffic offenses and was found guilty of the misdemeanor possession of a forged instrument and sentenced to the 23 days she already served. Identity theft charges were dropped.
Under Colorado law, most folks who are undocumented can't qualify for a license. Driving without a license is a regulatory offense. If the state wanted to give people licenses, they certainly could. When people are arrested for regulatory offenses that are not serious and they have no prior criminal history, oftentimes what that starts the floodgates towards the deportation dragnet.
Immigration is handled by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, which is a federal agency.
We have a responsibility to the community and under state statute, under SB 90, to properly identify an individual's immigration status and then notify ICE if that individual is suspected to be without documentation. We're not bringing them because we suspect that they're an illegal immigrant. We're bringing them to our facility because they are alleged to have committed a crime or a significant traffic offense.
Colorado immigration law changed with the passage of Senate Bill 90 in 2006.
From the perspective of immigrant communities in Colorado, SB 90 is really our Arizona. It has had really devastating impacts on immigrant communities, specifically on their ability to trust and work with local law enforcement.
Colorado Senate Bill 90 says if the county sheriff reasonably believes an arrestee is not legally present in the United States, then the sheriff must report the arrestee to ICE. Unlike the Arapahoe County sheriff, the state patrol policy is not to arrest individuals for minor traffic offenses, thus they don't contact ICE except for serious crimes. The state patrol did stop Vizgara a week before the Arapahoe County sheriff did, but gave her a ticket instead of arresting her.
But on routine, day-to-day traffic contacts, immigration and citizenship status is not our primary concern. The Colorado State Patrol has an immigration enforcement unit that has specific training that allows them to further investigate people who are under suspicion of being undocumented foreign nationals or being in this country illegally. Specifically, that unit addresses the issues of human smuggling and human trafficking.
Vizgara remembers the order of events the night she was arrested differently from the official report.
The first thing that the police officer did was ask me if I was legal or illegal before he asked for my car documents.
ICE has taken the position for a long time that their focus is on people convicted of dangerous and violent crimes, and that has been their public position with programs like Secure Communities. The reality that we have seen, and the reality that has been disclosed by data and evidence from around the country, is that overwhelmingly, the populations of people who are slated for deportation, whether that's through Secure Communities or a program like SB 90, are overwhelmingly people who haven't been convicted of a serious crime.
Secure Communities is a federal program which requires local law enforcement agencies to collect and send fingerprints and other data from any arrest to the FBI and ICE, even a traffic arrest. This is a conduit towards deportation. According to a policy letter from ICE Assistant Secretary John Morton, ICE has resources to remove 400,000 aliens per year. Half of the deportees in 2010 were convicted criminals. The others just got caught in the system. ICE considers a traffic arrest, a murder, and everything in between to be a crime. Jeanette operates 2 small businesses in the Denver area, a cleaning service and a moving company employing several people. She pays her taxes and pays for her family's health care costs. She and her husband work 14 hours or more, 6 days a week, as she tackles both the labor and the management of her businesses. Salvador gets up at 3:30 in the morning to start his job delivering Asian food to restaurants as far away as Albuquerque and Grand Junction. In Mexico, Salvador worked as a bus driver. 3 times armed bandits boarded his bus, holding a gun to his head as they robbed everyone on the bus, including him. He and Jeanette left Mexico City for Juarez, looking for better places to live. In 1997, they decided to take their chances in the United States, and they paid a coyote to get them across the border. Immigrating legally takes years, and if you are a poor Mexican yearning to be free, it is effectively never. Immigration law is complex, in many ways contradictory, and while many in the world are given relative carte blanche to immigrate, others face endless barriers. Russian Jews and Cubans, for example, get special treatment. Many people believe that if a foreigner comes to the United States and has a baby, then she cannot be deported. Attorney Hans Meyer explains the truth about what is commonly called anchor babies.
So this idea, this sort of cheap political idea that anchor babies somehow allow vast numbers of undocumented people to stay in the United States is just factually and legally incorrect.
Nicole Malaku of Denver's Rights for All People, an immigrant advocacy group, summarizes Jeanette's situation.
But in Jeanette's individual case, we're looking to put a face on the wider issue so that we can see the kind of individuals that deportations affect, look at the devastating effects that has on the community, and really show the wider public that it's not criminals who are being deported. They're regular moms, dads, grandparents, working families that want to contribute to our country and to our economy.
So here's a totally counterintuitive thing about immigration law. If a person's entered the country unlawfully and they don't have a visa, right now under the current law, even if they have an ability to, let's say, get their status, let's say they're married to a citizen and the citizen applies for them, they're not going to be able to do that inside the country. They're going to have to leave the country and process through the consulate. And one of the crazy things about the way this law is written is rather than encouraging people to regularize their status and encouraging people to go through the process, it encourages people not to leave the country because people, once they're well established, are less likely to leave the country for 3 months, 6 months, or a year, leave work, leave their family, leave supporting their children to follow that process.
Jeanette's 7-year-old Colorado-born daughter, Luna, thinks only about her younger siblings and the responsibilities she is preparing to take on.
Like preparing the milk for the baby, and sometimes I'll have to calm my little brother down.
Luna and her 4-year-old brother know they may soon lose their mom. Following a recent hearing, the immigration judge postponed the decision.
I thought that the judge was gonna say if my mom had to stay or go.
Go? Where will your mommy go?
To Mexico?
Will she take you with her?
No.
The Obama administration says it will now let many immigrants facing deportation stay and apply for a work permit. That's because it wants to concentrate on deporting the most dangerous. Do you think this woman should go or stay? Tell us your thoughts at coloradopublicnews.org. Thank you.